Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta. No matter where in this wild, wonderful, and sometimes wacky world. Actually, these days it's more wacky than wonderful or wild. Anyway, I digress. Let's go. Who wants to talk football? Who wants to have a little bit of fun? It's our fun bit, where we don't talk tactics and all that. We just talk. Let's talk. I'm rambling. Fine. Let's go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad, our last live broadcast of the week. Good evening, squaddies. I salute you at ease. To those listening on replay, thank you for making us part of your day as well. And to those listening on our audio platforms, thank you too. Just waiting for Kyle to pop in. I'm not saying that he has internet issues like his father, because I have not done the full investigation just yet. But let's just say young Kyle will be here imminently. All right, folks? Let's say hello to some of my favorites, shall we, in the room. We have Mark here. We have PW's here. Unfortunately for everybody, Newman is here. Our Chief Like Officer, Tammy, is here. Trevor is here. Everyone's here. Brady's Bananas here. Wesbird's here. The whole fam jam is present and accounted for, and more of you trickling in. And talking about trickling in, who's here? Bosh!
Bah!
Okay, lower your screen down just a little bit so we can see your... There we go. What shirt you sporting today, Mr. Campbell?
It's not even a shirt. It's Adidas top.
An Adidas top.
Yes, Adidas. Yeah.
Looks like it's got some burgundy Manchester City kind of colour in there. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Listen, congratulations, whatever, to West Ham for making their first European final in 47 years. Are they going to be the next London club to win a European trophy? Maybe. It's not going to be us, that's for sure. But we'll get to that with Kyle. Kyle, how has your week been? Talk to me. What you been up to?
It's been good. It's been good. Had training today. Did a bit of pre-season work, and yeah, it was hard, but it was good.
Yeah.
And yeah.
When you say pre-season work at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Tell us, what does that entail? What are you doing?
Well, basically, I'm just getting ready for next season already.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm going on holiday like next week, end of next week anyway. So I'm giving myself like a week off, but I don't really give myself that much time off.
Mm-hmm.
I just get straight back to it, because I think I just find that if you give yourself a lot of time, it takes a while to get back going again.
So where are you going? Don't say just what country are you going to? Dubai. Very nice. Very nice. You're going with your mates? You're going to have some fun?
I'll actually go with my family.
Very nice. And yeah, very cool. Nice. Very nice. A little getaway in Dubai. And then nice. Do you train when you're on holiday, or do you say, I'm going to have 3 days where I'm going to eat lasagna and chips together with a fat Coke, and I'm going to have cheesecake? Or when you and Ty go away, do you take care of your bodies even when you're on holiday?
I think it'll just be just eating casual food, really. I eat a lot, and I don't really put it on. I've got a fast metabolism, but so
that's good.
I can pretty much eat anything. But yeah, I'll probably be doing some training out there as well, going to the gym, stuff like that.
Nice. I like to get the be patient, Newman, for crying out loud, otherwise you get a red card. I love this stuff. Like, what is happening now with players? Do they binge for a week? Do they binge for 2 days? Do you have a little bit of alcohol maybe? Do you stay away? Do you abstain from alcohol completely? You know what I mean?
Every player is different. Yeah, every player is different.
Yeah, definitely.
Literally.
Boy says he's eating cheesecake. Yeah, why not have a bit of cheesecake? Well, enjoy your vacation. So next
Thank you.
week, next week we will not be live, or will you be live from Dubai?
I'll be live next week, and then the week after, I think I'll be probably live from Dubai.
I don't know what happened since last week, but you extra look like your dad today. It's craziness. I mean,
Do I?
absolute craziness. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's mental. Absolutely mental. Right. Let's get stuck into this because I've got a lot I need to get off my chest. And you know, your team played last night. Dun dun dun. That was probably one of the best performances I've ever seen in Europe. So here's what we're going to do. Our hot topic in two. Let's get to it. We have two hot topics that we always start the show with that I present to Kyle here. And I have a bit of a beef because, look, I don't want to get stuck into legalities here. 115 breaches, okay? And everyone's lauding Manchester City like they're they're the messiah or something. I mean, I get it. Pep Guardiola's an amazing. Listen, I was telling Kev here the other night that I think Pep could manage Brighton to a Premier League title. But one of the things as well that's a joke is not only that, but also Manchester City lodged a complaint, Kyle, because one of the lawyers involved in this case is an Arsenal fan. And apparently it turns out there's actually an Arsenal fan on Manchester City's team too. So my thing here is, as a Man City fan, do you care less about all this other stuff going on, or what's happening on the pitch just supersedes all of that, even though maybe in the coming future they could take all that away from you guys?
I'm literally just focused on the team. It's happened twice now. This happened, pretty sure it happened, was it last season or 2 seasons ago, maybe? Where
it's a constant FFP thing.
Yeah, with the UEFA, and then this time it's the Premier League. They can try to get as much evidence as they want. Realistically, are City going to get relegated? No. We're too rich to get relegated, I think.
Okay, hold on a second here. Okay, too rich to get relegated. Well, here's what you did. You definitely got rich enough to win a lot of trophies, the Premier League and some domestic cups, right? When you say too rich, you think that the City. What I want to help you here, because what you mean is you think City have got so much money that they'll get their way out of this sometimes.
Yeah,
somehow. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're too wealthy. We get all the lawyers involved, and then everyone would just be like, "Oh, well, what's the point? Like, what's the point?" They've got so much lawyers involved. They'll probably get dragged on for ages as well. And then in the end, people just go, let's just leave them to it, because there's going to be other clubs who are in City's situation. Like, you telling me Chelsea and United haven't done the same as what City's done? Like,
but have they?
Every club's
no, I mean, not every club. Look, I don't want to get. I want to talk to you about it from the point of view of, because I think older fans like me care more about stuff like that than younger fans like you.
Yeah.
And that's not me being disrespectful to younger fans. I think that what you said is spot on. Money will probably get them out of this because money got them into it. Right. But as a young fan, I wanted to get into your head that for you just care about the product on the pitch and winning the treble. What would happen as a young fan then, for example, if they were found guilty? Would you support that the team could be relegated and that they would deserve it if this all came to be?
Yeah. I mean, if we got relegated, then obviously, if we got found out, then obviously we've done something wrong. Like, I think you have to kind of take. I think you got to take the bite. I think, and just get on with life. I'll still support them, no matter what.
Really?
Yeah, no matter what, I'll still support them. I think a lot of people will probably jump ship. I think. Maybe.
Well, some Leicester fans are jumping ship at the idea of them being relegated. I'm really curious, the listeners that are in the chat right now, if it was Arsenal, would you carry on supporting Arsenal? I mean, because the love for your club, it runs deep, deep, deep.
Yeah.
But also there's these things that happen. Rangers were relegated. Why not Manchester City. Could be City versus Accrington Stanley. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Accrington. Oh no, I don't think that'll be that good. But yeah, I think it's football in it. At the end of the day, if you've done something wrong, you've got to pay the price.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just bitter right now. I'm
yeah,
bitter.
you are.
I'm saying
you are.
I'm
You're
I'm bitter. I'm bitter, Kyle, because you know why? You can't argue about the football last night. So as a City fan, I'm going to let you have 2 seconds, point 3, to tell me. I mean, I thought that was the most complete performance I've seen in years in Europe. Maybe since Barcelona v United. Talk to me as a fan. I'll let you have the floor for a second. Go on. About the football. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's just magnificent football, Tiki-taka. We don't lose the ball. Rodri couldn't even touch it. And Don Carlo's eyebrow was raised from the first minute and nothing happened. That just shows how good City were last night.
He had no answers, did he? In fact, I don't think I've ever seen Don Carlo look, it was like that scene in Friends where Joey's teaching the students how to act. And, he's like, if you want to look confused, just try and divide 2,543 by 510. That was Don Carlo.
That was literally, I saw Vinicius go up to him and started speaking to him. And Don Carlo, he didn't know what to say. He was confused himself. City, which is too good at the moment. We're in a purple patch at the moment, and we're juggernaut.
Craziness. I mean, it was just brilliant. As a footballer, when you watch that, do you think, gosh? Because here's what I believe. I think Pep Guardiola is just brilliant. I know everybody does. And your dad always says it's the players. But that manager, I'm sorry, he takes players to a totally different level. Like I don't know what this is, but it's a different kind of football. And I don't think, though, you could be called the greatest team the Premier League has ever seen.
Why not?
Well, number one, there's a team that actually won the Premier League without losing an entire game. Okay. There's another team that won the treble and, let's be honest, defeated a very, very amazingly brilliant Bayern Munich side. And to get to the FA Cup, they also had to beat an Arsenal team that had Bergkamp and Vieira. I mean, all these crazy, crazy good players. I don't think that the narrative right now should be it's the greatest team because on paper you haven't won it. You haven't won the other two yet. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do agree with you on some points, but on the other points, I think the treble's so hard to do, and I think now that City are about to do it, people are trying to downgrade it. People are going, oh yeah, but United have done it. It's expected City to win it. Well,
Kyle.
You haven't got divine right to win anything in football.
You City fans shouldn't complain about nothing, okay? Right? I tell you. You want to complain about, they'll say that they did it and now it's whatever. People don't even respect that we went unbeaten. Partly because we drew 12 games, but still, we had to grind. Some of those were looking like losses, big time. But welcome to our world. You think people are going to rag on you because, someone else has done it?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just get that City checkbook out again. They'll take care of that.
That's what Arsenal are doing for their invincible season.
We paid the refs.
Yeah, you did. 12 draws.
We had to combat Manchester United, who owned the refereeing system at the time. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get on to our second point. Manchester City for me, yes, sublime, brilliant. I don't know why this is the only picture I have. It's from the previous, I think it's last season's actually game. Maybe it was the game in Madrid, but I just found it because Ceballos is in it. Jack Grealish, a player who's really improved this season. He's really been great. Kevin De Bruyne has just kind of gone different levels. Everyone in that team. I mean, Haaland couldn't finish yesterday, which was really lovely to see.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, it was kind of crazy, but they were brilliant. Jokes aside, and I know that they've got all these other things that are happening and they're going on, but at the end of the day, you've got to get on the pitch, you've got to play, and you've got to play your opponent, no matter who that is. And in these last 15 games, they have gone to stratospheric heights.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, Kyle, my hot topic number 2 for you. Should we look at Mikel Arteta differently now? With everything that's happened, with everything we've seen this season, the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Pep Guardiola, I mean, he did a really good job of protecting his players. He built a team with spirit, tenacity, one that was able to really grow on from last season. Do we give gangster Mikel Arteta more credit now, Kyle, that we know what we know about City and especially what they did to Real Madrid last night?
Yeah. Also did well taking City all the way to the end, really. There's only like, what, 2 more games left of the season, and City have only just won it, let's say. So I think it's huge credit. I think people just look at he hasn't won anything this season. So, but I think taking City all the way and almost clinching it, I think he's done a good job.
Okay, but my
I think he's done a very good job.
question is, I believe people should reassess their assessment of Mikel Arteta and our team, considering everything they've seen in the last 15 games, and in particular, what they made Real Madrid, I wouldn't say look like us, but they made Real Madrid look like a very average side. And that Real Madrid team, I think they reached their ceiling, right, Kyle? The
Yeah,
comebacks,
yeah,
the winning it again. I believe that in the games against Manchester City, I mean, they destroyed us at the Etihad. I think we've
yeah,
gotten closer here and there. We beat you in the FA Cup. You know, so when you look at what's happened, I think he deserves a little bit more credit.
yeah. He does, but this season, like, yeah, he does. You know what? Yeah, I think he does. When you think about it, he went to Newcastle away as well and won 2-0. That's a hard place to go to as well. Like, we didn't even go Newcastle away and win. We drew 3-3. Like, teams like obviously Spurs are rubbish, but they got battered there 5-0. Or was it 5-6, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't see teams go to Newcastle away and come out with a result. And I did not expect Arsenal to win 2-0 at Newcastle away. But then you look at other results where it's West Ham away, Southampton home. You should be
Brighton.
winning them. Yeah, Brighton as well. You should be winning them. But look, it's an inexperienced side, isn't it? So stuff like that is going to happen. And I think people did expect City to be the first one over the finish line in the end and actually win the league. So credit to Arteta because he took City all the way. Arteta on his Arsenal side almost did it, but just didn't have enough this season.
Well, we came up against the supposed greatest team that's ever played in the Premier League, Kyle. And by the way, just so you know, a very important stat, around 90% of referees are actually from the north. Just so you know that, okay? We're going to move on now to our next topic right here on the Total Football Show with myself and Kyle Campbell. Kyle takes the floor here and he's going to share his scouting for the week. His 2 favorite players for the week, players that he's enjoyed watching, players that he thinks are going to be big in the game. Over to you, Kyle, who is player number 1.
Okay, so the first player is Julio Enciso for Brighton and Hove Albion. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists this season in the Prem, and he's played 19 matches, which I'm actually quite surprised about, to be honest. I didn't expect that, but the impact since he's been brought back into the side and since he's been starting, obviously he scored that goal of the season contender against Chelsea away, and then obviously he scored against Arsenal as well at the Emirates. So
Thanks for the
that might
reminder.
be another reason why I put him in. But but yeah, he's just been
Who
brilliant.
invited this person on the show? I just want to know who did. Oh, yeah, that was me. Look, but see, I'm good. I even have a picture of it for you. Look, when he scored right there against the Arsenal. Yeah, right there.
Great player. He's only 19 as well. That's the crazy thing. He's only 19 years of age.
Do you think when you talked about the amount of games that were those starting or he just appearances, right? He didn't start all of those
Yeah,
games.
it's just appearances. He didn't start all of them. It's just appearances. And since he's been starting, he's been a threat. So obviously, he didn't start tonight against Newcastle, but he's injured, I'm pretty sure. But when he does start, he's so consistent. He always does well. Like he's a really good player, and obviously in the big games he performs.
Brighton's recruitment has been phenomenal, hasn't it? The amount of talent that it's kind of like Southampton. If you look at the Southampton factory line of players that have come over the years, I would say if they kept half of those players, maybe they'd be a Premier League side still. Actually, if they kept Hasenhüttl, maybe they'd still be a Premier League side. But Enciso, he came, he's from Paraguay, he came from his home club when he arrived at Brighton, 10 million, has definitely made a major mark. We know Arsenal fans were very aware of him in our last match. What do you think his ceiling is? Why pick him? What do you see him? Where do you see him going? Is he going to be one of our listeners was talking about, inheriting McAllister's position if McAllister was to leave? Talk us through that bit.
I've just got a lot of respect for Brighton and how they go about their scouting, just in general, and the way they play. They're a very brave side, and they want to play football, and they give young players a chance. They're not scared to give players a chance because of their age. Age is just a number in football. And players like Enciso, 19 years of age, you're starting him and he's scoring from 25 plus yards against Chelsea away. He's winning games for his team. And yeah.
That was a great goal, wasn't it, Kyle?
Yeah,
wow,
it was a great goal. And for a 19-year-old to have that much confidence just to get the ball out of his feet and just bang it from there,
very nice.
Top wins and celebrate the fans. You've got to give him so much respect for that and credit.
A player that you can see at Man City maybe one day or would like to have there? Has he got that
like
type of level of talent?
He has. He's got that flair, technical ability.
All right. Very cool. Who is on your list as your second scout spotter of the week, Kyle?
Second one is Xavi Simons for PSV Eindhoven.
He is quite the talent. Talk to us about him. We saw him twice this season. And yeah. Was he injured for one of the games? No, he's a really good player. And by the way, can I, just before you say something here,
do
you know who his agent is?
Who?
His agent is David Dean's son. David Dean, who used to be the because there've been rumblings about Arsenal and Xavi. When I saw his name pop up when we were WhatsApping, I was like, oh, interesting. His agent is Darren Dean, David Dean's son. So tell us about him, and then we'll talk about that a little bit.
So he's 20 years of age. So he's still young. He's my age. And he was actually at Barcelona. He started in the La Masia Academy. And I'm pretty sure when he's 13, 14, he moved to PSG. I actually watched him in the UEFA Youth League against Man City at the Man City Academy Stadium, and he was just different quality. He was running the show, especially against Man City. Man City got a good academy as well, and no one could stop him. So I've always kept an eye on him since that game, and then now. About time we got first in football, because at PSG, I don't think he was going to get it, because PSG got so much money, they're just going to buy anyone with a big name to him. But now he's at PSV. He's actually Dutch as well, so he's in his back home, and yeah, look, he's got 28 goals and assists combined. He's played 46 total games, so speaks for itself. For a 20-year-old as well, who's playing first team football for PSV. Yeah, people can say it's an easy league. I understand that, but at the same time, though, he's still doing the
No.
business. That's the main thing.
I
He's
find that
still
really
doing the business.
disrespectful when people say
Yeah,
that. When you look at the players that have come from that league, I mean, Gakpo was his teammate, right?
yeah,
And he's at Liverpool now and settled in really, really well. I mean, players come from that country, that division all the time. This snobbery, Kyle, sometimes with the Premier
yeah.
League fans is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like when everyone comes to the Premier League from a foreign league, it's like, oh yeah, but it's an easy league. It's like when Haaland came to City, people are like, oh yeah, it's not going to be the same for Haaland. He's going to a team that creates chances. So literally, it's not going to be any different. It's going to be easier for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I mean. But yeah, Javi Simmons, he's obviously he played in Europa League this season. He played one game in the Champions League. It said, or it might be qualified. I don't know what it was, but obviously he's had a good Europa League campaign. And obviously they got knocked out by Arsenal. I'm pretty sure. Was Arsenal knocked them out?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we
Yeah,
they were in our group in the Europa
yeah,
League, and we all know what happened to us after. But the game away, we were horrible. I would say if there were like 3 or 4 games where everyone decided to have their worst game on the same day, it was definitely that game away. But we also had change our squad a lot in the Europa League in those group
okay,
stages.
yeah,
Everton away was horrific. And I'm not counting City because they're just on a different level. And Southampton at home was pretty dire. That was really
yeah,
bad. I don't count Liverpool. I don't count West Ham. London derby, anyone can win that. I don't care what form you're in. Liverpool's Liverpool, but those other games were completely unforgivable. Now
yeah,
he's valued at around 30 million, I think. I think that's for today, the talent that you're talking about, the amount of goals that he's had, Kyle, coming from Barcelona, and he was at PSG's academy for a little while. We're talking about 100 million for Declan Rice, 100 million for Caicedo. This seems like the type of player that would seem like a steal deal at that value.
yeah. It's a steal for a 20-year-old player. He's got first team experience. He's got experience playing in obviously the Europa League,
Mm-hmm.
or Champions League as well. You got to give him an opportunity
And he
to
played
play
in the
if
World
you do
Cup.
take him. And he played in the World Cup. I don't think he started, but he
No,
came
he
on
went to the
and
World
played.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to the World Cup. But still, it's a massive. Still, that probably adds on more value onto him as well. And for a 20-year-old who's doing that in the Dutch league, and he's only valued at 30 million. He's another player I can see at City because he's so technically good. He's so direct. He's a great player. He
Yeah,
really
he's
is.
very talented and he's fun to watch. And you know what I really like about him? This guy always plays with a smile on his face. And I love
Yeah,
to see footballers enjoy their football and play with a smile on their face. We did an interview with Aaron Ramsdale's dad, Nick Ramsdale, and everyone will see it in the second episode that's going to air over the weekend. But he talks about wanting to see his son happy. And your dad
yeah,
talks about that a lot. As long as you boys are happy, he's happy. And when you see players play with a smile and this freedom, it's really a beautiful thing to watch. And I think he has it, Kyle.
yeah. It is because football nowadays, because of social media or stuff like that, you get a lot of footballers who can get down quite easily because it's such an easy platform just to get through to someone famous. You may think, oh, they're not going to see the comment, but they may see the comment. And that's why footballers are probably quite reserved nowadays. Whereas, obviously, you get some that play with a smile on their face, and
Mm-hmm.
huge respect to them because some people find them as the easiest target, don't they, to try and put
Yeah.
down because they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah. This is why I always loved watching Ronaldinho play. He's so much fun because football's entertainment and I
Yeah,
love players like that. And I mean, not only was he ridiculously talented,
yeah,
but
he's ridiculous as well, isn't
yeah, totally
he?
ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But he always had, the cheeky smile and the grin, and he seemed to always love and enjoy his
Yeah.
football. And you're right about social media. What do you think about social media? Because I know I have my social shredding segment on here and I'm combining it with football's enemy today, Kyle, which you'll see.
Okay.
But you're not really on Twitter at all. And you are on Instagram. But are you fan, no fan?
Oh, the thing is, I see a lot of footballers now limiting their comments or turning off the comments
Yeah.
completely, which I do agree with. I do agree. Um, if people aren't gonna be nice over social media, if they're not gonna show you respect, then they don't deserve to comment on your pictures or your Twitter or whatever it is. So yeah,
Mm.
let them suffer. If the small minority ruin it for everyone else, then that's how it should be. It's that simple. And if I was to make it pro and if I was to have a big name for myself, I would do the same thing. I have a minority comment on my pictures, and I have a minority comment on my Twitter. Mate, unless obviously I've got a good following, but some players just have a negative following, man. Just everyone just targets them,
Mm-hmm.
targets them, and it's just like it's certain players. I think it's just who that like how they are as a player. Like I go in some comments sometimes on pro footballers' pictures, and a certain comment section will be good. It'll be oh yeah, happy, happy, happy. But then you go to another player, and out of nowhere, people saying, "Oh yeah, you this and that, you that, oh you get out of my club," stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really weird, especially with I would say for some unbeknownst reason, I have no idea why Rashford gets abused. Like I really have
Yeah,
no I look, he's a player that I would love to see play with a smile on his face, but he doesn't. That's his style. He doesn't play with a smile. Saka's the opposite of him, right? Saka's
yeah,
a little bit more endearing. That he's more popular because I think he's endearing in that way. But Harry Maguire, I think, gets so much abuse. Like, I know
yeah.
he's
It
had a
does.
horrific
It
time, but
does.
does the dude deserve all that abuse? No. So it's
No.
interesting for me and the listeners to hear it from a young player's perspective and see it through your eyes, because nobody should have to go through that. I just did a show
Yeah.
actually. You guys can all go check it out, Football versus Homophobia, and we're talking about, generally the toxicity on social media and the keyboard warriors. And if they saw you in person, would they really say those things to your face? No, of
Yeah.
course they wouldn't.
No way.
Yeah, no one's saying that.
They're
No
not for
one's saying that
picture.
to Kyle Campbell's face, that's for sure.
Yeah. They just ask for pictures,
uh,
don't they?
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So that's our scouting. So we've got Brighton's young player, came from Paraguay, and Sisso, who has had an impact this season and someone that Kyle really enjoys watching play. And of course, Xavi Simons, who we know a little bit more about, has done a great job at PSV and someone who might be in business of transfer this summer. Who knows? We shall see. But definitely a player that Arsenal have kept tabs on. And we'll see how that goes. Nice one, Kyle. Very, very nice. Very nice.
No problem.
Here we go. So today we have on our Shredding Social what to happen. And it's also the football enemy number one. I'm so over this guy. I am so over this guy. Let me get rid of this. All right. Okay. Now, a Pastor Guna did this. That's Pastor Guna. And I don't know when, but I love it. And it's, of course, we know it's Will Smith. Keep my name's wife out of your mouth. Keep our club's name out of your mouth. Gary Neville. Could he be more annoying? Even Laura Woods on Talksport said a few days ago, I'm just tired of listening to him. Of course, Newman thinks his art. If you'd have done this, Newman, you could have gone viral. I'm just saying you need to think outside the box a little bit. And I just think he talks too much, Kyle. He just talks too much about Arsenal. He talks too much about everything. He's got listen, you are entitled to your opinion, but I don't need you commenting on every single facet of not only my club, but anything going on in life. I mean, I tried to Google stuff and I'm like, where do I go? When I put in Arsenal and Gary Neville, you could look at a gazillion million impressions this season of him just completely ripping us to shreds. He was
Yeah.
looking forward to us not winning the league. He's trying to twist his narrative, but with the choking and the bottling and all that jazz. Meanwhile, his team is like 30 points behind us, something ridiculous. I know it's not 30, but it's about 20. My Shredding Social, Gary Neville just needs to shut up. Really. Just needs to shut up. I'm over him.
Okay. Well, I just think he.
Do you think he's a clickbaiter?
I think he couldn't wait for Arsenal to bottle the league. That's all. I think he couldn't wait for it. You could tell in his podcast he was just waiting. That's why he was saying, "I do still think City will win it. This and that. Arsenal aren't ready yet. He's ready. He was waiting for Arsenal to do it so he can go, oh yeah, I told you so."
Yeah.
But I've seen loads of his tweets on Twitter saying stuff like like it was always going to happen. Arsenal aren't ready yet, and then people were just commenting, throwing abuse at him. But at the same time, Arsenal fans are going to be angry because Gary Neville. People aren't dumb nowadays. People know if he's trying to get under the skin, and Gary Neville knows that he wanted City to win the league. He would rather City win the league than Arsenal. I don't know why, but he did, and obviously he got under Arsenal fans' skin, and then now Arsenal fans just are going for his head. Now coming for his head.
But did he do that as much with Liverpool when they lost out on the title by 1 point? Did he do that as much? I think he does. But, I don't know. It's just kind of, I'm over it. It's a joke. And I know, Mark, you're saying I've given him what he wants, traction. I don't give him traction. Trust me, I don't give him traction at all. I'm at that point where I'm just like, as his employer, I tell him to shut up a little bit, to be honest with you. Talks a bit too much about everything. And, his rhetoric is just boring and I'm over it. And so I just wanted to kind of just say, Gary Neville, shut up because we've had enough of you. You can go on and as much as you like about the Arsenal and the bitterness that comes from us going invincible is really unreal. His bitterness, and I bet he wakes up in having nightmares. He has to change his pajamas in the middle of the night because when he thinks about that game at Old Trafford, he comes into these sweats. So he's got to get his old man pajamas and put his flannels on because it soaks up the sweat a lot more. And that has just stuck in his goat, Kyle, forever and ever. Jealousy, because we're the only team who has the gold trophy, okay? I don't care what's happened before. History is history. You got your treble, we've got our invincibles. Suck it up, move on with life. Find another narrative, mate.
Yeah.
Whew. Just happy to get off. I'm expecting you to get something off your chest now because it's Campbell's corner. What have you been thinking of this week? What's got your goat? Or maybe it's something happy and inspiring and totally the opposite of my Gary Neville moment. What you got, Kyle?
I saw something on Twitter actually saying people talking about aliens and UFOs, all that stuff. I was like, I just have to put this out there. I need the comment section as well. I need their opinion on this. Do you believe in aliens or not? Because I do believe in them, but suddenly people are going, "Oh, yeah, well, it's Photoshop pictures of UFOs." But there are so many out there. How can they be photoshopped?
Okay, can I just say that this might be my favorite ever question in the history of the Highbury Squad, like ever. Okay, ever. And I love how it's the total opposite to mine because I stuck with the football because, Gary Neville. This is great. Now, I've got a little thing for you here and we'll start getting their comments up. Look, this was not where I thought the show would go. This is what I love about our show because I want it to be different. It's when I do Freestyle Friday, guys, and I want to talk about music and films and all that jazz. This is perfect. There have to be aliens in the world. In fact, I know there are. I know there are. Now, I'm not saying I've seen an alien, but I did work on a show. You were probably not even born at the time, but I worked on a show called The X-Files.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
The truth is out there, right?
Yeah.
And it was all about, extra what's out there and the fact that the government hides it. But there are people here. There's a place in the desert that people go to and they just sit there to alien watch at night. I think there's too much evidence, Kyle, too much evidence to suggest that they don't exist.
Yeah, I agree as well. I heard a video somewhere about 2 UFOs or 1 UFO landed in a playground in Zimbabwe and they actually got out of it as well.
Got out of the
they actually got out of it and actually went up close to him. If you type it on YouTube, it comes up. Not obviously pictures, but people talking about it, and that just made me instantly believe that they're aliens. Like, there's got to be. But it's annoying because I want to be proven right. I want to know, yes, aliens are real. But
don't you feel like you've seen enough evidence to suggest what you think is actually like? There's a ton of stuff. In fact, they're declassifying some documents these days to be able to prove. How can we be that arrogant to think we're not alone? I mean,
the only
Michael
thing
Jackson
is,
sang that.
Yeah, but the only
You are not
thing
alone.
is there are so many UFO sightings, but then why haven't I seen one myself? If everyone's recording these UFOs flying over, then why can't we see them? It's like it's the only thing. It's like.
So now so is your belief that they don't exist? You want proof that they do. I want to see him get off the spaceship and walk to Marks and Spencer's to get a sandwich and a drink, or I just need them to walk somewhere, even if they're in the middle of the desert. I want to see like alien bodies come out of your suggested flying saucer. Is that what you're saying?
I do believe they're real, but I just want more proof as well. I'm dying for more proof. I do believe they're real, but I would love more proof as well. I'd love to see a UFO just fly over my head, something like that. I'm like, yeah, there we go, knew it. But
wow.
Until then, it's just my imagination, really, isn't it? Because I don't know if they're telling the truth, but I do believe deep down that they're aliens.
Well, the show that the tagline I told you was "The truth is out there." So here's what we're going to do next week. I'm going to bring you evidence that aliens do exist. How about them apples?
Yeah.
If I bring you the
deal.
evidence, you're going to want to see, because remember, you don't have to actually see a body to believe that whatever's in the flying saucer or whatever it is there and it exists, right? Yeah. I mean, there's too much. So I'm going to bring you evidence. I love that question. Okay. You're sick and tired of seeing people post their alien crap online with no real evidence that stuff exists. Yep. I'm going to bring you some evidence. Sure. Newman's already killed my evidence. X-Files isn't evidence. No, but jokes aside, when I worked on that show, I did the PR for it internationally. A great show to work. I'm so lucky I got to work on two of my favorite shows of all time, which is X-Files and 24. But that when shows like that come to be, Carl, they have researchers. I mean, you know, an old show like NYPD Blue, Hill Street Blues, all the cop shows, Blue Bloods, they have researchers and they have consultants from the police academies, from the police force, etc., and the same on X-Files. So yeah. I will bring you evidence. I will bring you evidence.
Please do.
Okay. Who knows? Arsenal might be able to sign the greatest alien that's available in the marketplace to play football. Because most of our players go invisible at the end of the season anyway. So what would the difference be? Come on. Come on. That's a late night TV joke right there for everybody.
Wow.
All right. Let's get into our predictions for the week. Super Kyle. How did we do last week, by the way? I haven't been able to check yet, but were we off? Were we on?
I think you got the Villa one pretty much spot on. Villa beating Spurs.
Yes, I did say I don't like to brag, but thank you for bringing that up for me. I appreciate it very much. It was very kind of you. Okay, here's what I want to do, because let's focus on. Let's see, we got Tottenham versus Brentford. Gosh, Tottenham are done. Tottenham are done. Brentford don't have Ivan Toney. He's done, literally, for a while, 8 months. What you got, Carl? Let's get your scores.
No Ivan Toney. He's got 2. You know what? There you go. 2-0 Spurs.
2-0 Spurs. They are playing at home. It could be. It could be. I'm going to go 2-2. Fine. I'll go for a draw. 2-2. We've got Bournemouth, Manchester United. Bournemouth safe now. Manchester United wanting to make sure they're safe for Champions League football. Bournemouth, do you fancy them? Do you think they've done all their hard work, Kyle? That they're kind of free from relegation now?
I think they'll be in the beach. I think They didn't get relegated, so I think United. I'm gonna go 1-0. 1-0 United.
1-0 to United. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 3-0 to Manchester. 3-1 to Manchester United. Next, we have a London derby, Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Can I just say again, Roy Hodgson, take a bow. Wow. Apparently, he might stay on next season, Carl. What do you think about them apples?
That's all that. I think, why not? Why not? He's done a good job on it. Like, why take out a manager that's doing his job and playing his part for another manager who comes in who just makes the team capitulate? Like, what's the point? If you're winning games, why are you going to change it? What's the point?
So does Roy get another win?
I think Roy.
Fulham at home?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. I'm going to go 2-2, drawing the derby. Okay, this is a massive, massive game. And wow, what a fixture. I think it's the fixture. It's the sexy tie this weekend. Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Unless there's a game on Sunday I'm missing. Yeah, I'm probably missing some Manchester City, Chelsea, fine. Where you win the league, blah, blah, blah. Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Does Emery kill the dream for Liverpool? Or do Liverpool march on and kill the dream for Manchester United potentially?
The thing is, Liverpool is they keep winning at home 1-0, but Villa have been scoring goals. I think this is a banana skin for Liverpool. I do want Liverpool to get it top four. I'd rather them get it than United, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be 1-1.
I have a feeling this could be like a 3-2, 4-3.
Yeah.
One of them. And yeah, Liverpool are on a run too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. We've got Wolves versus Everton. Are the Toffees going to be condemned? Are they going down? Is this going to be the beginning of the real end for the Toffees? Kyle Campbell. Campbell being the operative word here.
This weekend, I think Everton cement safety. I think I'm going to go 3-1 Everton. 3-1 Everton. I think they'll play how they played against Brighton away.
You know what? Wolves are safe. They don't have anything to play for. And Everton have to put their swords down on that field, you know? And then maybe we'll hear that song at the end again where they're all dancing and, you know, because they survived relegation again. Well done, Everton. Well done. Well done. Toffees do win too, definitely. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win there. And the last game on Saturday. What a tough one. It's the Kevin Campbell derby. It's Nottingham Forest versus the Arsenal Football Club. Nottingham Forest home record, a lot better than their away record. Still not safe, of course. Come on now. Surely we've got to bounce back from this, Kyle. Surely the Gunners bounce back from being humiliated against Brighton, who lost 5-1 against Everton and who lost 4-1 against Newcastle. Surely we can beat Nottingham Forest at home, can't we, Kyle?
The only thing is that you don't know how they're going to react after the Brighton game. That's the thing. They could be down the dumps after basically conceding the league.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what Arsenal playing for? It's just playing for second place, really, isn't it? So,
well, I mean, it's second. It's, you know what it's to play for? It's to play for another test for the team. How do they react? We want to see a reaction. We've got to see a reaction. Don't be, mathematically, okay, hear me out, everyone. I know. But mathematically, Kyle, it's still possible. Anything can happen. That alien that we've identified could send an asteroid down and bosh. It's the only thing that will stop the only thing that will stop Manchester City. But mathematically, it's still possible. So Arsenal have to pull it off. They have to pull out a win. There's no excuses, none whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think they will.
I'm going to say 6-2 to the Arsenal. 6-2. I think we're going to paint pictures. We're going to tell stories and we're going to put it all out there and we're going to bounce back, and we're going to play free football, and we're going to get like 4 goals before half time. Book them, Dano.
I just think you always get beat by Forest away. Well, last time I saw you play, you got beat by them in the FA Cup. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0.
I'm gonna go for.
Yeah, I'm not joking, Wesbird. I feel like an unleashing coming. Mikel Arteta's mad. He's very mad. And he's very mad. That's all I'm saying. Okay, here we go. West Ham versus Leeds United. Is this the day Leeds get their P45 from the Premier League? What's going to happen in this one, Kyle?
Well, West Ham play tonight. Tonight is Thursday.
I'm telling you,
they'll be focusing on the final. West Ham will be focusing on the final. Rest everyone you can. They're safe. Well, pretty much safe anyway. I think it'll be a draw.
A draw.
I think it'll be 2-2 draw.
I think West Ham are going to have a lot of emotion that's gone on to tonight, reaching your first European final in 47 years. It's an incredible achievement for them. I know it's the European Conference. Say what you want, people. They're in a final and they could win a trophy, and they haven't done so in years. In fact, the last trophy they won was against us in the FA Cup final. Yep. We all remember how that went. I think Leeds get a result here. I'm going to go for a 2-1-1. I think Leeds will get a point, and the twist continues in terms of the relegation battle. We got the South England derby, Brighton versus Southampton. Southampton. Oof, this could be an ugly day for Southampton.
Buried. Really. It's going to be. What is it at Southampton?
It is at Brighton.
It's at Brighton. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm going to go. Southampton always seem to score. Even though they get battered, they always seem to score. I'm going to go 5-2 Brighton.
5-2 to Brighton. I like that. I think they will. Yeah. There's a team that needs to get some revenge. They've had a couple of horrible. I mean, they've let in 9 goals between the Everton and the Newcastle game.
Yeah, defensively they've been poor out of nowhere. I don't know what's happened, but need to sort out. Need to try and keep a clean sheet against Southampton. Obviously, it's more easier said than done, but yeah, they at least have to win.
All right, and the last game of the season is between... Oh, sorry, I already showed this picture. My bad, Kyle. Sorry, I'll just put that away. Last game is Manchester City versus Chelsea. Is this where we see the ribbons tied on that Premier League shiny trophy that should have red on it and white on it, but instead it's going to have this horrible light blue theme to it? Is that the day? Or is Frank Lampard's Chelsea going to stop you, Kyle?
I'm so scared for this one. I'm so scared.
You must be quaking in your boots.
I know. It couldn't have been a harder team to play on a Sunday after battering Real Madrid in the Champions League. But look, Chelsea can't even beat Forest at home, and look, I haven't got out on that number 9. Can't defend to save their life. Playing against the City side, who have scored 2 or more goals in every game, since early Feb, something like that, in the Premier League. So yeah, it's gonna be 5-0 City. 5-0 City.
5-0, huh?
Yeah, 5-0 City.
5-0. Stephen Foot in the house. How are you, Stephen? Stephen is the reason why we call the Squaddies. Came up with that. We hope you're well and that you are feeling better, Stephen. Good to see you pop up in the chat. It's been a while. Kyle, I hope you lose. I'm not,
Yeah, I understand.
I had this exchange. Let me ask you this question. Let's say Arsenal are playing Real Madrid in the semi-final. Okay, Arsenal's a bad choice because I know, okay, let me think of another team. Chelsea.
Right.
Chelsea are playing Real Madrid in the semi-final. Who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for the English club, the Premier League team, or are you rooting for the other team because the other team you have to face twice in the league are a rival or an enemy? Some City fans didn't understand why I didn't want City or don't want City to win. Why would I want Manchester City to win the Champions League? Jason Cundy was on our show talking about this as well. He doesn't understand it. I don't ever want an English club to win the European trophy ever.
I agree. Yeah, as long as it's Man City, I don't want any other English club winning the Champions League. Obviously, West Ham. Look, if West Ham win Conference League, respect to them.
Yeah, doesn't count.
It's not really relevant. It's not really relevant, is it? So
after I just said that it's still a European final.
but no, look. If let's say Chelsea were playing Real Madrid in the Champions League final, I want Real Madrid to win because I can't stand an English club winning the Champions League, a big trophy like that.
Yeah. Well, let me. Okay, so I just put this up because I actually would rather. So he's saying, I want City to win because I want to terrorize United fans forever. That would be joyous. But on the flip side of that, imagine United beating City in the FA Cup final and they don't do it. United fans will be unbearable. Unbearable. See, for me, Kyle, it's the lesser of two evils. Which one is more evil? And you know what? I think Man City are more evil. Yeah, I want United to stop you from winning the treble.
Do you?
100%. Just decided on the spot right here.
Why though?
I want you to win the Champions League. I want you to go through that glory. And I want you to think that it's yours now. It's in the bag because you've just got to play Manchester United at Wembley in an FA Cup final. And I would love...
games before Champions League.
They've moved it to before?
Yeah, United games before the Champions League final, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's always is.
Yeah.
I want them to stop you before you get there. Because then Inter Milan beating you because you'll be crushed and broken and then you would have bottled it and choked it. And then we can formulate all the memes and reverse them. Same memes that you created for us. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go. I've got my crayons. I've got my cut and paste. And you know what? If I get desperate, I may even ask Newman to come up with some new art.
Also, fans can't talk in that situation, though.
Why not?
Because we beat you to the league.
Nah.
Oh, come on.
That's not how banter works. Listen, so why... Listen, Tottenham fans give it. They've won nothing. We've won things, okay? We're invincible. We've got history. So we have some pedigree here, and we can come at you. Yeah, we lost the league, but we lost the league to the greatest team that's ever lived, apparently. And then you're going to crumble, not win the treble. I'm here for it. My God, all of a sudden, I was ready for the season to be over. I can't wait to watch the last couple of weeks.
Oh, you're a hater on City. You're a hater on City.
Yes.
Sit back, relax, and watch City win. Watch City win the Prem. It'll be Prem done on Sunday. It'll be FA Cup done against United. Then Champions League final, beat Inter Milan 2-0. Done and dusted.
Look, here's a City fan for you. You've won 0 trophies. Yeah, this year we haven't, fortunately. Unfortunately. You've won one.
Basket.
You've won one so far.
Yeah, the biggest one.
All right. Well, look, those are our picks for the week. Let us know what you guys think. Please leave your comments. This was a wacky show. See, when I intro the show, when I say wacky, wild, and wonderful, today's show was a little wacky, and I like it. I'm here for the wacky. I didn't go too hard on. You know what? I'm going to go harder on Man City next week after you lose to Chelsea. So my result for the weekend is Chelsea 2. Somehow Mudryk will score against you. I don't know how or why, but I feel it in my bones. Stradamus. 2-2. I think it's going to be a miracle. It's going to carry 2-2. What would you do if I predict that correctly? That Chelsea get a point at the Etihad? What will you bring to the show? I'm going to bring you evidence of aliens next week. What will you bring for me if I'm correct that Chelsea somehow, by hook or by crook, just because it will be the only great achievement they have this year to get a point at the Etihad? I think they're living for it, Kyle. What are you going to bring to the show for me?
If Chelsea get a draw or get a win on Sunday, I will wear an Arsenal top on the show next week.
Okay, hold on a second. As top, do you have an old Super Kevin Campbell shirt you can bring to the table and put on? Or is it a shirt from...
I do, yeah.
My mind's blown. Oh my God, this could be great. This is my favorite. This might be my favorite show. Yesterday, I liked my show with James. Don't tell your dad. I mean, I love all my shows with your dad. But today's show, Kyle, you've delivered on so many different levels. Let me tell you. So next week, you will come wearing an Arsenal shirt if Chelsea get a point at the Etihad. Deal?
Yeah.
Or no deal?
Deal.
Bosh. I'll come with the evidence of the aliens. What else do you want the troops to know, Kyle? What have we missed today? Let them know. Get it off your chest.
Championship playoff finals.
Oh, what happened? Did Sheffield United pull it off?
I don't actually know. I literally do not know. What happened?
Let me tell you exactly what happened. Today's the 18th.
It was 3-0 last time I checked.
Let's see. Someone in chat will tell us. Oh my God, it's in extra time. It's in penalties.
No.
Okay, we gotta go. We'll see you later, everyone. 5-1. It's... Oh my God, that's insane. Did they win? Did they pull it off? This is crazy.
Surely not.
See what we did? We came on air to give you guys a show and we've missed the classic, basically, for you. Not you, Kyle, them. But we love them, so we don't mind. Wow. Kyle, it says penalties in progress on the BBC website right now. It was 2-0 at half-time and it was 4-0 at half-time. And Peterborough scored in extra time and Sheffield Wednesday made it 5-1 to take it to penalties. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Sheffield Wednesday won. Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh my God. Ow.
Wow. Okay, that is an unbelievable football result. Kyle, how can players lose 4-0 and then come back the next week and be G'd up to go 5-1 into penalties? That is incredible.
That's a team that want to play for the manager. That's literally what that is right there. Because he was actually getting racially abused, the Sheffield Wednesday manager, after the Peterborough game. And out of nowhere, he's pulled it back and they're going to Wembley now. So all them fans now that were saying that are going to turn and go, oh yeah, we love you. We've always loved you. It's like, oh yeah, okay. It's just hypocrites. 1 minute they love you, 1 minute they hate you. So that's how football works. It's a crazy sport. But
wow. That's brilliant. Absolutely. And I love crazy. Sheffield Wednesday, just, old school big club. Yeah, they're just... And my friend Ollie Wilson, who's a broadcaster, does Formula One stuff. He's a massive Sheffield Wednesday fan. So I'm happy for my friend Oliver Wilson. All right. You know what? We're going to be doing a lot more of this kind of stuff too with Kyle, because we like the championship stuff. It's so exciting. We're going to talk about the playoff. You said Luton and I said Sunderland, and Luton won.
Told you. Told you. I told you.
I went with my heart there and not my head. I do that a lot sometimes.
Luton are just a better side, and obviously Coventry, Luton Coventry final. Two teams who you wouldn't expect to be in the Prem next season. Who would you take? I don't know. I just don't know who I want.
Do you know, I kind of love it that everyone was expecting, Middlesbrough, Sunderland.
Yeah, Sunderland, yeah.
And good old Coventry. Opposite. Back in the day, I loved Coventry's kit in the 80s. And I love that they still have that emblem where they've got the lines going across and then down like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was proper sky blue, light blue back
No,
then.
it was. Yeah,
Kyle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I think.
compared to the light blue stuff you get today, like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's true. You proper quality shirts.
Proper quality shirts, but Coventry City, just, you know, two names of clubs that were in the old first division and in, you know, just brilliant. So let's see. I would prefer Coventry City because I really don't like Luton at all. And yeah, so I'm sure you're going to pick Luton, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stick with Luton. I do want Coventry to go up though, because they were bottom at the start of the season, and now they're going Wembley. So imagine if they were to go up. That's like a fairy tale, that, isn't it? It is.
It's craziness. Really is.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Well, look, it's been a great show this evening. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Carl's absolutely smashed it and is smashing it. Congratulations as well, by the way, to Aaron Ramsdale. If you missed our interview with his dad, Nick Ramsdale, please go find it in our video section. Those are harder to find sometimes, but it is on the homepage, or just click on the video section because it's pre-recorded, so you may not find it as easily. So please go watch part 1 of Nick Ramsdale's video. It's brilliant stuff. We recorded it just before he signed for his new contract, but there's some insightful stuff that you guys will absolutely love to see. We're also going to have our awards show, and I'm thinking, Kyle, the awards show should be done on this show with you, because I think it'll be fun. Yeah?
That's fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to do an awards show. Yeah.
Brilliant. Sounds good.
All right, very cool. And we'll talk more about Xhaka on Monday Madness with Kev as well. And tomorrow there'll be a new episode of Talented Gooners that is going to go out with Peter Lewis. You have the last word. And by the way, we may have a very special guest on Monday's show, and I will reveal all over the weekend. Over to you, Kyle. You get to close the show.
So, as always, guys, keep working hard and enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend, and yeah, let's hope our teams all get wins, and let's hope my team lifts the Premier League. Why is Xhaka there? Why is Xhaka there? Why?
Just love that picture so much. This is how I felt when talking about Gary Neville and Manchester City.
Why? I was like, what? Xhaka.
Brilliant stuff. And you get a 10 from Newman, which is never a good thing, by the way.
Cheers, Newman.
Never a good thing. All right. Kyle, sorry. Take us out.
So, anyway.
I promise I won't do anything this time.
Yeah, right, okay. As I said before I was interrupted by Xhaka, keep working hard, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy your weekend. And hopefully our teams win, and hopefully my team lifts the Premier League title.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Good night, everyone.